The rain begins to pour down at Daytona Stadium as the Seabreeze Sandcrabs take the field. My name is Michael Torillo. You're listening to Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Productions. It's the final home game of the season for the Seabreeze Sandcrabs. It's the final road game of the season, even though we're still here at Daytona Stadium for the Atlantic Sharks. Next week, we'll be right back here as the Sharks face off against Lakeland Christian. The Atlantic Sharks won the toss, chose to defer. As I said, the rain coming down pretty hard now. Just as the sun was going down, it is down now. The clouds started rolling in from the west and covered the stadium just in time for this ball game to kick off. It's a color versus color matchup tonight. Sandcrabs in their gray helmets, sky blue jerseys, gray pants, white numbers, red trim. And Atlantic, silver helmets, black jerseys, black pants, teal numbers, teal trim. The block A across the helmets as usual for the Atlantic Sharks. Mac Cimento is getting ready to kick us off here from the 40-yard line, right to left. Deep to receive the kick, Marion Washington and John Quest Jameson. Remember Nate Davis, the senior returner for the Atlantic Sharks, out for the season with a broken wrist, an injury he sustained in the game against Pine Ridge. We are just waiting for the referees to get this game underway. Cimento has the ball on the tee. The Sandcrabs are lined up just past the 40-yard line to listeners' right. The brand new LCD scoreboard here at Daytona Stadium is firing up and ready to go. Remember the last time we had a broadcast here, there was no scoreboard. So I'm very happy to have the time and score on the board to relay to you. Cimento is ready. The fans here at the Daytona Stadium have put on raincoats and umbrellas and galoshes, and we are underway as Cimento sends it high and deep, and it's going to go out of the back of the end zone, and the Sharks will have a touchback to begin the game. Let's see who Coach Squatty decides to start under center. For most of the year, it's been John Killingsworth, but because Coach Bell wants to run wing T more often and become more that downhill running attack that we talked about in the pregame interview, he's been using freshman Kwasi Kawaku, who's a bit bigger, a bit broader in the shoulders than Killingsworth, who's a bit slimmer and a bit more sly. Killingsworth, we know, had to escape a lot. The Sharks are out there. Now they break the huddle. It looks like it is John Killingsworth under center. Marion Washington, the running back, to his right. One receiver spread out wide to the right in the wing T formation. Snap directly up the middle goes Marion Washington. He's going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage to the 20-yard line. Flag does fly from the back judge, and we shall see what the marker is. Head referee Kyle Davis will relay the calls to us. And it looks like it's going to be against the Atlantic. They're going to move him back 5 yards for a false start. So, and not the greatest way to start the game for the Sharks. First penalty for Atlantic, and that's one of the things that Coach talked about in an interview with the Daytona Beach News Journal a couple of weeks ago. He says there's always a 1 quarter or a half a quarter in every game where we beat ourselves, penalties, mistakes, and other things of that nature. Another flag flies as the Sharks were getting ready to run the play, and it looks like this one might just be coming right back the other way as Michael Shropshire, the defensive tackle for the Sandcrabs, jumped, and it's going to go right back to the original line of scrimmage. So a couple of false start penalties, one either way, and we're still at 1st and 10 from the Atlantic 20-yard line going left to right. Killingsworth in the wing T formation, snap directly to Washington up the middle. He's going to power his way forward, trying to get to the 25-yard line, but he only gets to the 23 on a 3-yard gain. Shropshire made the tackle. Shropshire only a sophomore. He is probably the biggest upside with a young core of this Sandcrabs team. Remember, they are losing 18 seniors off this roster, but Shropshire only a sophomore, 35 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 7 sacks coming into the ball game. Here's 2nd down and 7 after the gain of 3 from the 23-yard line. Killingsworth direct snap, looking for a room up the middle. He is going to be bowled over and stopped. Forward progress gain of only 1 out to the 24-yard line. A flag does fly in late as I believe that was Stephen Taylor, the linebacker senior who we highlighted in the pregame segment, who to listen for, who was the first man on the scene to make that stop. It's a flag did fly, And the referees are converging, and it will be against Seabreeze. And it looks like it's going to be a personal foul. Move the ball all the way up past the 35-yard line, close to the 40-yard line, up to the 38-yard line. It's going to be a personal face mask against the Sandcrabs, so that will give the Sharks a first down and 10 at their own 38-yard line to listeners left. A couple of substitutions for the Sandcrabs. In comes Kenny Higgins. Out goes Michael Shropshire. Sharks break the huddle as Killingsworth runs back to relay the play from Coach Bell on the sideline. Still wing T formation, strong side to the right. Direct snap. It's handed off to the wing back, running left, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he does. That's Preston Kuznov, usually listed as a linebacker. The ball did come out right at the end, and taking it all the way into the end zone for the Seabreeze Sandcrabs is Eli Campbell, but the forward progress was stopped right at the line of scrimmage. So nothing doing there. Second down and 10 after no gain. Preston Kuznov getting the wing formation, usually reserved for Jarius Hawkins. Haven't seen Hawkins yet. Jarius, 11 carries, 39 yards on the offensive side. Defensively, he has 45 tackles, 5 tackles for loss on the season. Second down and 10 after the rush play for no gain from their own 38-yard line, going left to right. Wing T strong side right. Killingsworth takes the face mask, high snap, looks to run up the middle, hit right at the line of scrimmage, and dropped immediately by a gang of Sandcrabs led by Eli Campbell, who was the first man through the hole. It's a gain of only 1 on forward progress, third down and 9. That's a fantastic play by Eli Campbell, and something that when I have watched this Sandcrabs team on film and in person a couple of times this year, I've been very impressed by this secondary and how quickly they get to the line of scrimmage on run plays to aid their linebackers in filling those holes. And Campbell did an excellent job right there, limiting the evasive Killingsworth to only 1. Now third down and 9 from the 39-yard line of the Sharks. Despite the rain that's coming down pretty hard right now, good crowd out here on both sides of the stadium. The Sharks fans on the far side, the Sandcrabs fans on the near side. Here's third down and 9, still wing T. Killingsworth, the face mask, high snap, rolls to the right, under pressure, dumps it off, and it's incomplete, intended for Jarius Hawkins at the 43-yard line. Still had a lot of work to do, even if he did catch the ball to get the first down, but it is fourth down, and it will be fourth down and 9. Now, we'll see what the Sharks do here. They've gone for it on fourth down a lot this year, or they've had pooch punts with John Killingsworth to catch the defense off guard, but it looks like the Sandcrabs are ready for it. They're sending Dimitri Campbell back deep to receive the kick. He stands at his own 35-yard line, and they are going to actually punt it away. Punter stands at the 35 for the Sharks, gets the kick away. It's high, end over end, fielded by Campbell at the 30, back pedals 25, racing left side, trying to get to the lane, back to the 25, now left side 30. He's going to be hit and forced out of bounds along the sideline just past the 35. He kind of ran into his own teammate there as he tried to evade a couple of Sharks defenders. And the Seabreeze offense will be on the field for the first time tonight. And now we see junior quarterback Blake Boda, 1,500 yards plus, 16 touchdowns this season. This man can sling it. He's got a future at the next level, and he's got the receivers to make damage happen. They will start at their own 37-yard line. 9 minutes and 2 seconds left in the first quarter. 4-man front. 4 wide receivers. Now Campbell comes in motion right to left. Boda takes the snap. The left-hander throws to the near side left. That pass is caught at the 45, up near midfield, and dragged down to the 49-yard line by a couple of Sharks defenders, chief among them Jonquez Jamerson. But a nice catch on the outside by Peyton Schofield, the former Atlantic Shark. He leads the Sandcrabs in touchdowns on the receiving end this season with 6. It's a first down right off the bat for the Sandcrabs, all the way up to the 49-yard line. They're actually going to spot the ball right at the midfield stripe, just to the near side of the Bethune-Cookman University logo. moving quickly, 4 receivers to the right, only 1 to the left. Now Campbell comes in motion again, right to left, leaving 3 and 2. Boda back to pass, plenty of time. Now De La Pena gets free, chases Boda to the left, and he's forced to throw it out of bounds. And that is the danger of Angelo De La Pena. He has been a menace to opposing quarterbacks and by far the best player on this Sharks defense and possibly this Sharks team all season long. John Killingsworth's fantastic individual performance against Pine Ridge notwithstanding. 8:23 to go in the first quarter. Sharks and Sandcrabs knotted at 0. Second down and 10 for the midfield stripe. Sandcrabs going right to left. 4 and 1 are the receivers. Boda over the middle. It's low and incomplete. It was intended for Trashad Troutman, and it bounced off his knee as Boda looked like he held onto that ball a bit too long. It's going to be 3rd and 10. And that's an uncharacteristic mistake from Boda. There was no pressure on him. The offensive line, led by Aiden Ford up front at center, is doing a fantastic job of protecting him, except that one play where De La Pena forced him to throw the ball away. Now 3rd down and 10 from midfield. 4 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left, 4 down linemen. Now a linebacker backs off, making only 3 down linemen for the Sharks. Boda rolls to his right, plenty of time to throw. He is going to step up, and he's going to run with the ball, and he's going to fall over at the 49-yard line of the Sharks, a gain of only 1. And the Sharks are going to stop the Sandcrabs. Nobody open downfield. Boda forced to scramble, and he only got 1 yard to the Sharks' 49-yard line. And here is the number 2 punter in the state of Florida, Mac Chimento. He is the reason that a lot of opponents for the Sandcrabs do not get out of their own half most of the time. 7:43 and counting. Ball spotted right hash at the Sharks' 49-yard line. Chimento, there's nobody back deep to return this for the Sharks. They know it's going deep. Chimento lets it fly with the right foot. It bounces inside the 10. There's a gunner down there, and it's going to be down at the 6-yard line, so that's where the Sharks will start their second drive of the ball game. We're going to take 30 seconds and be right back. You're listening to Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Productions. Atlantic starts with the football, but because of a fantastic Chimento punt, they start at their own 6-yard line, 7:19 to go, first quarter in a scoreless ball game here at Daytona Stadium. Senior night for the Seabreeze Sandcrabs. Sharks will have that honor next week as they host the Lakeland Christian Vikings, a game that can be heard on MJT Sports Productions on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube right here. That contest will begin at 7 p.m. Sharks will start from their own. Well, it looks like it's going to be 1st and 5 after a Seabreeze jump. So, second penalty on the night for the Sandcrabs. That'll move the ball up to the 10-yard line. 1st and 5. Wing T formation. Killingsworth, the quarterback. Marion Washington in the backfield with him, strong side right. It's going to be a fullback dive to Kuznov. Preston Kuznov is going to be swarmed under by a gang of Sandcrabs, but he got all the way to the 14-yard line, so it's going to be 3rd down and 1. Or excuse me, 2nd down and 1. They've done that fullback dive now to Preston Kuznov twice. 7 carries for 22 yards before tonight for Kuznov. Now 2nd down and 1. Killingsworth takes the snap, keeps it himself, just going to try to dive for it, and he's going to get forward progress to the 16-yard line, 1st down for Atlantic. And this is what the Sharks want to do. They want to impose their will up front, grind out games, get 1st downs, keep control of the football. It's something that they haven't really been able to do this season because of that sort of split identity I mentioned at the pregame show between the spread and the wing T that they've been forced to use because of their personnel. And now I think towards the end of the season, Coach Bell has trained the players up a little bit so they kind of know the situation and know what they got to do up front. But stopping this defensive front for the Sandcrabs is going to be no mean feat as the game rolls along. 1st and 10 for the Sharks from their own 16. Left to right they go. Preston Kuznoff on the dive again. He's going to get up to the 20, being wrestled around by a bunch of sky blue and gray jerseys. He's going to be stopped at the 20-yard line, gain of 4. Eli Campbell first to the stop for the Sandcrabs. Late substitution for the home side as Trevon Tucker goes out late. He's replaced. Sharks like to take a lot of time off the play clock. We're down under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter already. This is only the 3rd possession of the ball game. Killingsworth, the snap. Kuznoff the dive again. This time he has some running room. Bounces off a tackler. It looks like the ball came out of the scrum. And Kuznoff recovers it. Forward progress is going to get him up to the 24-yard line. That was a little bit touch and go there. But it's going to be 3rd down and 2. Needing to get to the 26 for the move of the chains. Couple of substitutions for the Sharks. Would not be surprised to see Kawasi Kawaku, the freshman quarterback, running back, at some point. It's going to be 3rd down and a long 2. Ball at the 26. Got to get, or 24. Got to get to the 26. The snap goes way over the head of Amarian Washington, who is in there in place of Killingsworth at Wildcat. He dives on it at the 10-yard line. And that has happened far too many times for the Atlantic Sharks' liking this season. Another bad snap, and it's going to be 4th down at about 15 yards. All the way back, they spot the ball at the 9-yard line, and this is going to give excellent field position to the Seabreeze Sandcrabs. They're going to have to punt it away. And this is a knock-on effect of what Mac Chimento can give you with his punting skills. The Sharks started this drive. Another bad snap. The punt barely gets away. It's going to bounce and take a Seabreeze bounce inside the Atlantic 30 and be down at the 27-yard line. So a very short field for the Sandcrabs as they look to take the lead with 3:52 to go in the first. So the Sandcrabs will have excellent field position here. They'll spot the ball at the 27-yard line of Atlantic. And we will take a timeout on the field. We'll take one upstairs in the booth as well. When we come back, it's the Sandcrabs who have possession. This is Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Productions. Stay with us. No score between the Sandcrabs and the Sharks on Seabreeze Senior United Daytona Stadium, but it is an excellent starting field position for the Sandcrabs as they start at the 27-yard line of Atlantic. Boda, the screen to the far side, caught and inside the 25 down to the 22-yard line. I believe that was Denali Campbell on the reception. Out of the back, they snuck the running back out of the backfield. They'll spot the ball at the 22-yard line. Gain of 5, 2nd down and 5. Boda takes the snap. Going to air it out to the near side. Caught it. Oh, it's dropped. In wide open was Tashawn Gallery, and he just let it slip through his hands. He had a wide open touchdown. He was standing at the numbers at the 10-yard line near side left and just dropped a easy back shoulder pitch and catch. And now it's going to be 3rd down and 5 at the 22. And that's the second big drop by a Sandcrab receiver Remember, I believe Clay Bass on the last drive had one go off his hands. Here's a run up the middle. Campbell straight through to the 10, to the 5, and he's down to the 4-yard line. First running play of the ball game for the Sandcrabs, and it works out brilliantly. First down and goal, and they're going to spot the ball at the 5-yard line. That was Kamani Robinson, who remains in the game at running back. They're going to give it to him again. Robinson up the middle. Touchdown, Seabreeze Sandcrabs. Kamani Robinson straight up the gut for his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. And Seabreeze takes advantage of the short field and goes up 6-0. Well, the bad field position off the punt out of the back of the end zone that probably was tipped didn't do the Sharks any favors, and it's just a 4-play, 22-yard drive. And Seabreeze takes the lead. Chumento on for the extra point. It's up, and it is good. So with 2 minutes and 49 seconds to go in the ball game, it's Sandcrabs 7, Sharks nothing. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Stay with us. The Sandcrabs lead the Sharks 7-0, courtesy of a Kamani Robinson 5-yard touchdown run to cap off a 4-play, 22-yard drive, and it's 7-0 Sandcrabs. Sharks going to get the football back. Mac Chumento set to boot it away left to right as the rain falls down here in Daytona Beach, Florida. It's going to be a high and short kick, going to be fielded at the 5-yard line. Here's a Marion Washington running left. He's going to be wrapped up and forced out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Excellent kick coverage by the Sandcrabs special teams. We'll see where they officially spot it. Looked like it was about the 13, and it will be indeed the 13-yard line where the Sharks begin. 2 minutes and 39 seconds to go in the first. And before the 2 bad snaps that gave the Sandcrabs that good field position, the Sharks were moving the ball using that fullback dive to great effect with Preston Kuznoff. John Killingsworth was going through the middle a little bit. I think the Sharks can't let a couple of mistakes like that get to them and continue to try and move the ball like they've been doing, control the clock, keep this game close, and maybe get a couple of chances at the sharp end. But again, they're at their own 13-yard line now. Tough field position again after starting from their own 6 last time. Wing T, single receiver to the right. It's Killingsworth in the gun. Washington with him, wearing very bright pink socks today. Killingsworth fakes the handoff, runs to the left, looks for room, tries to get to the 15-yard line, and he will get there and be stopped by a gang tackle of Sandcrabs. Chris Lewis, first man on the stop for the red and white. But with not much red or white in their uniforms tonight, wearing gray helmets, blue jerseys, sky blue jerseys, white numbers, gray pants, red trim. Gain of 2 on the quarterback keeper by Killingsworth sets up second down at 8 from the 15-yard line. The Sharks' very own 15-yard line. They go left to right in this first quarter. 2 minutes and counting to go in it. Snap to Killingsworth. He rolls to his left, looks to throw. Now he tucks it and runs and dives forward to the 15-yard line, and he's going to be down right there, and he's going to stay down. Looks like he took a little bit of a shot to the head as he was diving back towards the line of scrimmage. And Killingsworth will go to the sideline. He will hobble to the sideline, and he will actually, now it looks like he might stay on the field. We'll see. He's talking to Coach Bell over there on the sideline near the 20. And it looks like Killingsworth will stay in the game. So he took a big shot as he dove forward. Looks like a knee caught him in the helmet. And it's going to be 3rd down and 8 from the Sharks' 15-yard line. Now they send 2 receivers out to the left and move to a more spread formation. Killingsworth in the gun. Amarian Washington back there with him, and a timeout is taken by Coach Bell. 1 minute and 1 second to go in the first quarter of play. Sandcrabs 7, Sharks nothing. We'll take a 30-second break and be right back. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. One minute and 1 second to go in the opening quarter of play. Sandcrabs lead the Sharks 10-0, and the Sharks are pinned deep. 3rd down and 8 at their own 15-yard line. They'll line up in the same formation they left off with. Spread, 2 receivers to the left. Killingsworth in the gun. Killingsworth takes the bell tie, snap, rolls to his left, feels pressure, now forced back to his right at the 5-yard line. He's still dancing, and he's going to go down inside the 5. Excellent pressure up the middle, and it is Stephen Taylor, the linebacker, that eventually cashes in on the sack and forces Killingsworth to his knees at the 4-yard line. And now once again, for the second time in 2 drives, the Sharks will be punting out of the back of their own end zone, and the Sandcrabs will look to exploit excellent field position. Clock running under 30 seconds to go in the first quarter, and the Sharks may just let this one run out and head to the second. The punter for Atlantic stands with his heels almost touching the back of the end zone. Let's see if the Sandcrabs come after this punt. It's a high snap, corralled. The punt goes straight up in the air. It's going to drop at about the 30-yard line. This time take a Sharks bounce past the 35, close to the 40, and be down at the 37-yard line. So still plus field position for the Sandcrabs, and that will be the end of the first quarter. We go to the second. Sandcrabs 7, Sharks nothing, but the Sandcrabs have the ball in Sharks territory when we come back. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. As the official healthcare champion of Volusia County Schools, Advent Health is committed to providing championship caliber care with 4 hospitals, 4 urgent care centers, and 6 sports medicine and rehab locations across Volusia County. I will finish the ad read after the first play of the second quarter. Sandcrabs go left to right. They're at their own, the Sharks, 37-yard line. Boda, plenty of time to pass now. Pressure comes up the middle. Boda forced to his right. He's going to lob it down the field. It's going to be over the head of the intended receiver, Peyton Schofield, and incomplete. So Boda looks a little bit rattled tonight. Been throwing him high, been throwing him low. And it's going to be second down. So, with 4 urgent care centers and 6 sports medicine and rehab locations across Volusia County, Advent Health is here to keep your student-athlete off the sidelines and get them back in the game. Visit adventhealth.com to learn more. Sandcrabs knocking on the door, second down and 10 from the Sharks' 37-yard line. Boda in the shotgun. 3 receivers right, single left. Boda stands in the pocket, throws out to the left-hand side. He's got to complete on the screen to his running back, Dimitri Campbell, and Campbell will dive forward past the 35 to the 34-yard line, pick up about 5 yards, and it's going to be 3rd down and 5. And even that little flip out to Campbell on the screen didn't look that easy for Boda. It was kind of wobbled out there. And you start to wonder if Blake is playing with a little bit of a knock. 3 receivers right, single left. Boda looks to the sideline to get the play, as do the rest of the blue and gray clad Sandcrabs. Sharks with a 3 down front, 3 linebackers. Boda fakes the handoff out to Campbell, makes a jump cut, 30, 25, 20 on the right-hand sideline. He's surrounded by black jerseys and finally going to be dragged to a stop inside the 15 all the way down to the 10. And that's just incredible individual effort by Dimitri Campbell. He just took a screen pass and went with it. He made a nice jump cut at the line of scrimmage to get free, and it's going to be a 1st down and goal for the Sandcrabs. Oh, no, they're going to make it 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. So a little bit of a worse spot than I suspected, but still down into the red zone for the Sandcrabs for the 2nd time. Their first trip was capped off by a Kamani Robinson touchdown run on their last drive. Boda takes the snap, rolls to his left, has time, throws towards the back of the end zone. It is incomplete, another low throw, as it was intended for Denali Campbell, the freshman, or excuse me, that is Trashad Troutman, the senior wide receiver. Has 4 touchdowns on the season, but couldn't handle that one, picked that one off the turf. It was got to him at about his shoelaces, and he couldn't find it, so it's 2nd down and goal, 10 from the 11. The Sandcrabs can get a 1st down inside the 2, but I don't think they'll want that. I think they're just going to look for the end zone here. Ball spotted on the right hash mark. Boda alone in the backfield, sending 4 wide receivers to the left, 3 bunched up near the offensive line, 1 way out there by the numbers, 1 receiver to the right. Boda, knee-high snap. Plenty of time in the pocket, now collapses. De La Pena, he squirts away. Boda squirts away, gets inside the 10 and down to the 6 before he's finally pushed out of bounds by Noah Anderson. And it is going to be 3rd down at about 4, as it looked like Boda scampered for 6 on the play. That's the 2nd time Boda's had to scramble. The first time it was on 3rd and 10, and it didn't really end well, and the Sandcrabs were forced to punt that time. Actually, they're going to mark him out back at the 8-yard line. So a gain of only 3 for Boda. It's 3rd down. Up the middle he goes. Robinson breaks a tackle, but cannot get much farther than that. He's going to be stopped his forward progress at the 12-yard line. It will be 4th down. Denali Campbell, the freshman, was the running back that time. I said in the opening of the ball game, the Sandcrabs love to do running back by committee. We'll see 4 or 5 Seabreeze players carry the ball. Campbell stays in at running back. At 4th down and 6, they're going to go for it here. And a flag flies. And it looks like they might have got Seabreeze for an offsides or a false start. They did, and that might change the Sandcrabs' plans here as they go from maybe a 4th and 6 to a 4th and 11. Head coach Pat Brown is on the sidelines barking instructions to his players. The offense stays on the field here. Boda alone in the backfield. 5 wide receivers to aim at. 4 left, single right. Ball spotted right hash at the 11-yard line. Boda takes the belt-high snap, looks to throw, fires over the middle into the end zone. That's caught for a touchdown. Dimitri Campbell picks that one out on a beautiful post route, and the left arm of Boda just whipped that one over the middle like no tomorrow, squeezed that one into a bread box, and it's a touchdown for the Seabreeze Sandcrabs. An 11-yard passing touchdown from Boda to Dimitri Campbell. Caps off a 7-play, 37-yard Seabreeze Sandcrab drive, and the home team doubles the lead. Matt Chimento on for the extra point. It is up. It is good. It was almost blocked as there was a Sharks player. I believe that's Preston Kuznov. Oh, no, that was Jamari Hick. No, excuse me. That was Jason McIntosh coming around the edge for the Sharks. Could not get a finger on it. It's 14-0 Sandcrabs. 9:29 to go in the first half. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, the Sharks will have possession. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Stay with us. On what is a coronation night for the Seabreeze Sandcrabs after they won their first district title since 2007 last week. A final home game against the Atlantic Sharks tonight at Daytona Stadium as Mac Chimento puts the kickoff through the end zone, and the Sharks will start at their own 20-yard line. Tonight, they lead the Sharks of Atlantic 14-0. Seabreeze on top. 9 minutes, 29 seconds to go in the second quarter. Sharks will start from their own 20 for the second time, and it's been a struggle offensively for Atlantic again tonight, mostly because of field position issues. A couple of bad snaps, yes, but, 2 punts for Atlantic that didn't get out of their own half have contributed directly to the 14 Sandcrab points. From their own 20-yard line, going right to left in the second quarter, silver helmets, black jerseys, black pants, teal numbers, teal trim for the Sharks. It's going to be 4 wide into the spread offense now for Killingsworth. Killingsworth in the gun. He hands the ball off up the middle, and dragging defenders for a couple of yards is the running back. It's not Washington, so let's see who's back there. It is Preston Kuznov is back there. Jeremy West made the tackle. West has a couple of college offers, including Allen University, Florida Memorial, Culver, and Edward Waters. He was the Daytona Beach News Journal's midseason defensive MVP for Volusia and Flagler counties. Killingsworth takes the snap, rolls to his right, now forced back to his left, and there's a couple of Sandcrabs right there. Oh, he escapes, but he is finally brought down from behind all the way back at the 12-yard line. Toma Pouncey. I believe that was Toma Pouncey came in and made the hit. I might be wrong. It could have been Dante Jones. I believe it actually was Dante Jones that came from the backside and made the hit. Second sack of the game for the Sandcrabs. And now it is third down and a country mile. And the Sharks will take a timeout. Want to get your business on the air in front of the Atlantic fans? If you would like to advertise via MJT Sports Productions, the official play-by-play internet radio partner of Atlantic High School, as a sponsor of Atlantic Athletics, please email the Atlantic High School Athletic Director Shakia Brown at smbrown@volusia.k12.fl.us. That's SMBROWN at volusia.k12.fl.us, and your business could be on the air with the Sharks. 7:55 to go in the first half. Sandcrabs lead the Sharks 14-0, and it's third down and 18 coming up for the Sharks after an 8-yard loss on second down via a sack by Dante Jones. That would be his second sack of the year, Jones. And now the Sharks, after they took a quick timeout, are back on the field. They'll spread it out again. 2 receivers each side. Ball spotted left hash. Killingsworth in there at quarterback. Killingsworth takes the snap, looks to throw. He's going to be roughed up and brought down. He's going to fall forward to the 11-yard line, but that's about it. Got back to the original line of scrimmage, but not a whole lot more did John Killingsworth, and the Atlantic offense goes 3 and out for the second straight drive. After 2 decent drives to start the game for the Atlantic offense, the Sandcrabs defense has honed in and done a really good job, especially when the Sharks have gone to the spread. I don't think Killingsworth has had any time to set his feet and throw. And this time, for the 3rd time in the ball game, the Sharks will be punting out of the back of their own end zone. And the punt is blocked out of the back of the end zone for a safety. It was a slow snap to the punter for Atlantic. And Eli Campbell shot back there and blocked that one straight back at him, back for a safety. So the Sandcrabs go up 16-0. 6:54 to go in the first half. We'll take a break and be right back. It's Atlantic Sharks football. Well, our Sandcrabs have turned up the heat in quarter. A rushing touchdown by Kamani Robinson, a passing touchdown from Blake Boda to Dimitri Campbell, and then a blocked punt out of the back of the end zone for a safety, once again, by Eli Campbell. And the Sharks are in a 16-0 hole with 6:54 to go. Kickoff from the 20-yard line, as is the rule on safeties in the FHSAA. Still going to be good field position for the Sandcrabs. Ball caught at their own 45-yard line, up past midfielder to the 45 to the 40. He's got blockers in front of him, and one man to beat. Skates by him inside the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Seabreeze Sandcrabs. Chris Lewis, the up man, takes it back to the house. And in the blink of an eye, it is 22-0, Seabreeze Sandcrabs. So in the space of 3 plays, the Sandcrabs go from being up 7 to being up 22, potentially 23. And it has been a massive turnaround here in the second quarter for Seabreeze. The Marching 100 off to my right plays the fight song once again. And this is not Mac Chimento kicking for the Sandcrabs. And the extra point is no good. That is Mason Motto, the backup kicker, misses the extra point. But it is 22-0 Sandcrabs, 6:35 to go first quarter. The Sharks will get the ball back when we come back. We'll take 30 seconds. This is MJT Sports Productions' broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Well, a blocked punt, blocked punt out of the back of the end zone by Eli Campbell, and then the very ensuing kickoff as Mac Chimento puts this one deep and out of the back of the end zone. Sharks will start at their own 20 once again. On the ensuing kickoff, Chris Lewis, the up man, took the ball 55 yards to the house, and the Sandcrabs extend their lead to 22-0. Despite the missed field goal extra point by Mason Motto. I think the Sharks just need a first down. Haven't gotten one yet in this second quarter. Actually haven't gotten a first down since their second possession of the ball game, which was their best possession so far. 6 plays of first down, but then punted near midfield. First down and 10. Killingsworth tries to run around the right-hand side, but he's going to be run down and thrown out of bounds all the way back near the 10 by Eli Campbell. This man does it all. He blocks punts. He runs down quarterbacks, as just John Killingsworth did not have enough speed to get around the edge. And it's another sack for the Sandcrabs. This time a loss of 8. So they're right back where they were on their last drive at the 12-yard line. Eli Campbell had only 1 sack coming into the ball game. He has a couple so far tonight, including that one. Now the Sharks will spread 3 receivers all the way to the left as the ball's on the right hash. 1 receiver on the numbers to the right. Killingsworth the snap, immediately under pressure as the offensive line for Atlantic goes out to dinner. The ball is fumbled into the end zone and picked up for a Sandcrab touchdown. It's Eli Campbell again. It's a scoop and score, and the Sandcrabs go up 28-0. Jeremy West was the man that knocked the ball out of Killingsworth's hands as he was pincered in the backfield pretty much immediately after receiving the football. Mason Motto is on to attempt the extra point again. He missed. Motto puts this one up, and this one is no good. Ride to the left, so he's missed 2 extra points. Well, 5:22 to go in the first half. It's 28-0 Sandcrabs, courtesy of a defensive touchdown and a special teams touchdown. Sharks will get the ball once again when we come back. This is MJT Sports Productions' broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Mac Chimento is getting set to kick this one off once again, as the Sandcrabs have taken a 28-0 lead over the Atlantic Sharks. 5:22 to go in the first half. Chimento sends this one high, deep out of the back of the end zone. He got that one through the uprights. Mac Chimento just put one through the uprights from his own 40 off the tee. And there is a reason that he has been offered by Alabama, Florida State, and 5 other Division I colleges. That is incredible. Well, the Atlantic Sharks now, this is their 3rd possession in a row. They gave up a safety, and then immediately afterwards a kick return touchdown, and then a scoop and score. So the Sharks will start at their own 20-yard line. They're back in the wing T formation with Killingsworth and Jarius Hawkins in the backfield. Killingsworth going to take it, run to his right, has a bit of a lane, past the 20, close to the 25-yard line, going to be stopped at the 24 for a gain of 4. So the first positive yardage play for the Sharks in the second quarter, and there's 5 minutes and 5 seconds to go in it. They've given up 3 sacks in that time and 14 points. Second down and 6. Actually, that's Kwasi Kwaku into the ball game for the Sharks. He carried the ball that last time. Kwaku, the freshman, remains in the game. And it's a direct snap to the running back. Nowhere to go. And losing 2 yards is, I believe, a Marion Washington. And it's going to be third down and 8. .408 and counting to go first half. Clock down under 4 minutes here at Daytona Stadium. It has been all Sandcrabs here in this second quarter, and they've got it done with defense and special teams. Only 14 of their 28 points coming on offense. Snap to Kwaku. Trying to run around the left-hand side. Nowhere to go that time, and another big loss of yards. The forward progress is stopped all the way back at the 16-yard line. Loss of 7. That was Jonquez Jamerson on the carry. And it's going to be fourth down and very long once again. Fourth down and 13 is the call, and on comes the Sharks punting unit. It has been a remarkable revolution of Sandcrab football under Coach Pat Brown, the former defensive coordinator at Father Lopez. Cookman in college and played in Europe professionally and Canada in the CFL. Punter stands at the 10-yard line for the Sharks. This is, if you can believe it, the second best punting situation for the Sharks have had. Their last 3 punts have been out of the back of their own end zone. Play clock running down to the 2:17. It looks like they're just going to let this one go all the way down and maybe call a timeout. Coach Squatty Bell is on the field looking at the officials, and they will indeed call that timeout. Sharks take a timeout. We will too. 2:13 to go. Punting situation for the Sharks when we come back. It's Sandcrabs 28, Sharks nothing. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Sharks in a punting situation here. Punter stands at the 10-yard line. 2 receivers just inside the 50. The punt goes up in the air. It's going to land inside Sharks territory, goes straight up in the air at the 35-yard line. Caught at the 35-yard line and on the run, inside the 20, inside the 10. Touchdown, Seabreeze Sandcrabs. Nobody touched Dimitri Campbell after he picked up the punt off a high bounce at the 35-yard line. It's another special team score for Seabreeze, and it's 34-0 before halftime, and the Sandcrabs are an extra point away from a running clock. It almost looked like the Sharks, like nobody expected anybody on the Sandcrabs to run with the football. The ball bounced at the 35-yard line of Atlantic, bounced high in the air, came down about 2 yards behind that. Campbell caught it like a baseball player catching a fly ball and just ran with it, and nobody touched him as he went all the way into the end zone. This time, it's Mac Chimento on for the extra point. It is good. So with 1:54 to go in the second quarter, it is 35-0 Seabreeze over Atlantic, and we will have a running clock for the second half. Advent Health is here for you and with you during every kickoff, every touchdown, and every season to support you physically, mentally, and spiritually in this game called life. Advent Health is on your team. They're your biggest fan, and they're here to... Advent Health is a proud supporter of Volusia County School Athletics. Visit adventhealth.com to learn more. Mac Chimento, after drilling that extra point to put the Sandcrabs up 35-0. Off a second kick return touchdown of the game for the Sandcrabs, is set to kick it away left to right once again, and it's been the second quarter where the Sandcrabs have done their damage. It was only 7-0 at the end of the first. And this one once again bounces through the end zone. Not nearly as impressive as his last kick, which went through the uprights from his own 40. And the Sharks will be back up at their own 20-yard line. So Atlantic, in the score sheet, has technically had 4 straight possessions, which is not something you want, because that means your opponent is scoring on special teams and defense. And all of those possessions have started from the 20-yard line. All of them have been touchbacks by Chimento. We'll see if Kawasi Kawaku stays in for the Sharks. He played that last series at quarterback. But no, that is Killingsworth in the ball game. Killingsworth takes the snap, looks to throw, has time, airs it out, and it's going to be tipped and incomplete. Dimitri Campbell was in one-on-one coverage down the right-hand sideline and tipped it away from his intended receiver. First time we've seen the Sharks go to the air tonight, and it is incomplete. And it's really the first time that Killingsworth had the chance to set his feet and throw, because the defensive line for Seabreeze has been in the backfield basically every snap, almost before the ball's in his hands. Second down and 10 from the 20. Sharks go right to left in the all-black silver helmets, facing the gray helmets, light blue jerseys, gray pants of the Sandcrabs. Killingsworth hands it, left-hand side. No, he keeps it up the middle. Nice play fake, but the Sandcrab defense is ready for it, and he only gains 1 yard. Jeremy West, the linebacker, Johnny on the spot to make the stop, and it's 3rd down and 9. $1:29 to go in the first half, and I think Seabreeze just took a timeout. Indeed, they did. Sandcrabs up 35-0. Sharks fans, basketball season is coming soon, and you can catch all the action from the Shark Tank on MJT Sports Productions, the official play-by-play home of your Atlantic Sharks. Be sure to like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter, all at MJT Sports Productions, so you never miss a moment of the action. Let's go Sharks! First basketball game's coming up in a couple of weeks. I am so excited to get back into the Shark Tank. Boys and girls basketball, as many home games as I can get to, I'm going to be bringing to you live on MJT Sports Productions this season, as both basketball teams look to be pretty good, bringing back a couple of seniors. Both teams were young last year. Girls went all the way to the district finals and lost to Cocoa. Boys were one game away from the state playoffs, went all the way to the district semifinals. So basketball season is going to be intense inside this Shark Tank. But back here at Daytona Stadium, it's 35-0 Sandcrabs. And it is 3rd down and 9 for the Sharks in their own 21-yard line with 1:29 to go. Killingsworth takes the snap, rolls to his right, throws down the field. It's going to be intercepted at the 35-yard line, and it is Dimitri Campbell again. Dimitri Campbell is having himself a ball game. That is his 4th interception of the season, and the Sandcrabs have a chance to make it more with 1:19 to go. So the Sandcrabs have another takeaway. They will start at their own 31-yard line. This is the 3rd Sandcrab possession to start inside plus territory. The Sandcrabs have only had 5 possessions. Boda takes the low snap, pitch right to left, space to work with to the 30, 20, 35, close to the 20. On the jet sweep that time was Tashad Troutman, and he gets all the way down close to a 1st down. It'll depend on the spot. Looks like a gain of 9. Under a minute to go now. Boda, the shoulder high snap, rolls to his left, being chased by 2 different Atlantic Sharks, turns the corner, now fires it towards the goal line. It's caught, coming back for it at the 6-yard line, and it's incomplete. Tashad Troutman almost had it. He had the ball in his hands, but couldn't keep his feet in bounds as he was being chased towards the sidelines. And it'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Sandcrabs from the 22-yard line. Got to get to the 21 for a 1st down. Clock stops with 38 seconds to go. And here comes Sam Gonzalez, the junior quarterback, onto the field, but he's going to play wide receiver, spread all the way out to the left, along with 3 other wide receivers to each side. Boda hands the ball up the middle, bowling over a defender is Kamani Robinson. He's stopped at the 16-yard line. Plenty enough for a Sandcrab 1st down. 28 seconds to go. Clock is stopped while they reset the chains. Now the clock runs again. 22 seconds to go. Sandcrabs run on Denali Campbell late for the running back spot. Low snap. Boda corrals, has to throw, gets it away. Caught at the 5-yard line by Troutman, and he turns upfield, and he's going to be out of bounds, close to a 1st down at the 7-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 1. That was a really bad snap. Hit Boda in the foot. Had to corral it and roll to his left, but he eventually found Troutman. 11 seconds left to go in the 1st half. Sandcrabs looking to really nail this one home. Already up 35-0. 1st and goal from the 2nd and 1 from the 7. Boda rolling to his right. Fires towards the goal line. It's caught, and let's see where they spot the ball. Touchdown, Seabreeze Sandcrabs. That'll be the end of the 1st half as the clock expired on the play. I'm trying to see who caught that touchdown pass, and it's Tristan Taylor. Tristan Taylor with the touchdown grab. He caught the ball at about the 3-yard line on the near side right and dove through contact and got the ball inside the pylon. Actually, a very nice play by Taylor, the senior wide receiver. That's his 1st touchdown catch of the season, only 63 yards receiving for him before tonight's contest. Chumento on to make it 42-0, and he does. He puts the extra point up and good. 42-0, Seabreeze Sandcrabs over the Atlantic Sharks. That is the halftime interval. We'll be back after this with halftime stats and a drive rundown, as well as other scores from around the area. It's halftime. Your Sandcrabs 42, the Sharks nothing. This is Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Productions. Stay with us.